Hello? Hi, guys. I'm an idiot. You know how this is my job? I'm not very good at it. They have my mic now. No, they don't have yours. They don't have your mic yet. I'm so sorry, guys. I have been hastily scrapping this together in like the last little bit. I'm trying to add the display audio. Yeah, Brooke is saying that the overlay needs to be made a little bit brighter. This is like a test thing. Don't worry, everybody. I'm just currently trying to figure out how to get my audio to pick up just like this, like the display audio. Audio output capture, desktop, add source, display audio. Hello? Why isn't this working? This is my hell. This is my hell. This is my hell, guys. I hope you know that. Every time that this happens, I want to die. Like, Brooke just called it a skill issue. I'm going to kill myself. I'm not gonna do that. Don't do that, everybody. That's bad for you. It will end your life. You should stay alive for as long as possible.
That's the real trick.
If you stay alive for as long as possible, do you know what you get to do? You get to outlive Andrew Tate. Live to outlive Andrew Tate. Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Is it you that should be testing, or is it me?
Is it working? It's working. It's working. Oh my god! We did it. Hello.
Amazing. Hello, everybody. My name is not Offbeat Outlaw. Outbeat Outlaw.
Oh, let us try that again.
And today we had to scrap together a stream when we realized that we didn't have all of our players, but that's why the overlay is not finished.
That's why the overlay is not finished, the audio didn't work, and I want to die.
This happened about 15 minutes ago. We realized it was just us two. And I was like, hey, you know how we have the overlay I've been working on for the charity stream that we're doing, where we've got a segment together in November. It is called Rolling for Charity, and you guys should
November 19th on the it's called Rolling for Charity. You should check it out. It will be on Twitch. But we were gonna do a segment for that called this Monster Mayhem.
We are doing a segment. Yeah.
We are. And why would we do a segment like that? Well, very simply put, we're good at making monsters. Both of us. We're both quite good dungeon masters. You've seen a lot of my work here on the Twitch stream, and a lot of the work that is on the Twitch stream has also been stolen from Brooke.
Yeah, every now and again, you'll throw something at me. This is the thing about having you as a player, is I always know I'm going to encounter my own thing, and I hate it.
So a lot of the stuff in this game it has been mine, but there's also some things that have been Brooke's, and we both love making monsters. And so today we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be designing a monster from scratch, mechanics wise. So if you are interested in learning how to DM for high level, as in like level 20, this is a good stream to watch and participate in, because we are going to be making a monster from scratch. You can hear us go through our process on how do we balance these things, what things do we think about when making the monsters, all that good jazz. Yeah. So, with that being said, where do we begin?
By acknowledging the fact that I'm going to regret everything I say in the next 3 hours, because we're going to have to fight this at some point. You know what? We're probably going to get through like at least 2 monsters, I feel.
We might get through
We've got 3 hours.
Yeah, well,
I feel like we're going to get through at least 2. And I'm gonna cry when I have to come up against my own mechanics.
You probably will.
But something to note, I think, because I know that you don't necessarily talk about this, but I know that we both have this design philosophy when we're building for especially high-level parties like in PP game, is that there's a couple things that are important. One, it's all about resource management. We are taxing the players, we are stealing their resources, we are stealing spell slots, we are messing with their sheets a little bit. We are making them spend stuff to survive, and we're stealing it. Two, we want the threat level to be high without necessarily just doing damage, but damage is a big part of that. This is also why things like your stacks mechanic in the bloodshed fight works, because it puts the pressure on by just knowing you're going to take a crap ton of damage, even if you never actually take it, because if you don't manage that, then it becomes a problem and you do end up taking it, and that's the threat, right? Three, we both agree that, so we have slightly different ways of phrasing this, but I think we both agree on both of these. In a high level D&D fight, you should be dealing enough damage that you can take down at least one player character in round one. But also, I think the other side of that is round one is where you put the pressure on. It's getting everyone to a manageable state of hit points that you can then round two pick off whoever you want if you feel like upping the ante and playing with pressure and that sort of thing.
And that's a play style preference as well. Like, there are times when it would, like, tactically it usually makes sense to focus fire and get someone out of the action economy for a bit, but there's also merit to hitting the whole party and putting on that pressure early, especially if you're using effects like my stacks mechanics that are residual damage effects, or things that are constantly affecting the party and are constantly damaging them regardless of whether or not I'm actually hitting them.
It gives you more options to balance the fight later if you can choose how much damage. Like, if you are able to balance how much damage you're putting out and how much you are threatening your players' lives, then it just gives you that control so that you don't accidentally unbalance your fights. With that being said, that is how we think of fights. So, CR30?
CR30.
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 Okay.
CR30 is the CR that books and stuff has given to monsters that are offbeat. You are noticeably quieter than Brooke.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. That might just be because I'm far away from my microphone. I
feel like you always are.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this like right here.
The thing is, in the StreamYard, you're loud, so it's hard to tell.
You can individually adjust my volume from the StreamYard, I think. Or I can.
Yeah. Oh, you're not too loud. You're not too loud.
Audience, let me know how I sound now. I'm just gonna try and keep this pretty close to myself. All right.
Now you're speaking past your mic. You got quieter.
Oh my god, this mic is so finicky. But it's I love it so much, but it's so finicky.
I feel that.
Okay, so everybody. So CR30, what I was saying, CR30 is the CR that Dungeons & Dragons gives to, they give that to monsters that can single-handedly challenge a level 20 party. I know that's the point of what CR20 is, but it's not. That's not how CR works. That's just not how it works in D&D, especially if you're playing with min-maxers, which I do. Because I actively teach them how to min-max if they don't already know. If they don't already know, you know how to min-max.
I didn't say anything.
Shut the fuck up. So what we have here, so we're going CR30. We are making a monster that can, that effectively could put the heat on the PP game squad.
I don't like this.
All right.
So what do we need? I'm making a list of all of the stuff that we've got to then put into this. So we're going to have an aura. We're going to have Lair action. We're going to have
legendary actions.
Yeah, legendary actions, mythic actions, the mythic action, and then mythic actions, like for the options. I like doing 2 auras. I like doing an aura for pre-mythic action and an aura for after, but we don't have to do that. I also sometimes just add passive effects that just kind of, like, if you're fighting a god, being in their presence fundamentally alters the nature of reality around you to give that impact. For example, one of my fights that you know about, I have the god who is the keeper to the pathway of death. If you go down in her presence, because she got her title from being able to like pick the lock to the gateway of death, if you go down and someone tries to revivify you, they have to roll a lock picking check to be able to successfully cast the spell. And that's just like,
that's funny.
That's just kind of an aura thing.
Yeah, we could list that under passive effects. We could have like a, I wouldn't necessarily make that an aura, as that gives it a range, but like I feel like a passive effect, would makes sense.
Well, presumably there is a range on these. It's just so big that
it's like
you can't get out of it within the fight.
Yeah, you can't unless you're like actively plane shifting or teleporting away.
Yeah.
Passive, so aura, lair action, legendary action, mythic actions, mythic action / mystic options. Passive effects, actions, spells.
Do we want to do? Are we going to use action points? Yes.
Sure.
Let's do it. So action points, if you are unfamiliar, come from 3.5, and I think they're used in Pathfinder still.
Pathfinder
basically, 2.0, basically what they do is you might assign, for example, 5 action points, and you might say that the breath weapon costs 3 of those, or a multi-attack costs 3 of those, or whatever, and you assign different point values to your different options so that you can mix and match stuff on your monster's turn, and not every turn is the same or whatever. Like, it just gives you options.
Yeah, it also like there's ways to manipulate, use action points to kind of manipulate action economy. Brooke has done this in many of her fights where she will use the action point, save them, and give herself extra reactions. So it gives you, as the dungeon master, more options in a fight, and gives you the opportunity to put some more potent actions in place, as well as some less potent ones, to change up how you apply pressure throughout the fight.
I just recently came up with an action point system for like players to use, because all of my players are about to ascend to like godhood, and I am trying to convince Offbeat to let us use it in God game. In PP game.
We haven't decided, and it's a good system. I am not letting it happen yet.
Okay, but let me explain it though, because I think it's really cool.
Are we gonna make the monster?
we're gonna make the monster, but let me explain.
Go explain.
Okay, so players get 5 action points, and then an action costs 2 points, a reaction costs 2 points, a bonus action costs 1 point. So in theory, you could have 2 reactions instead of taking your action, or you could have 2 actions instead of taking your reaction. That sort of thing. Or you could have like 3 bonus actions and get yourself set up for like the next round. Action Surge gives you an additional 2 action points that you must use on your turn. You can't save it for like the rest of the round. And then also a legendary resistance costs 3 points. I'm real psyched about this. Anyway,
it's really cool.
This is effectively kind of how the action points work. And we're gonna use it.
Options. So, I think we got
What's
it.
the vibe?
What's our vibe?
Yes. Do we want to make something for any of the settings that we're currently using or working on, or like... Because we have a setting that we built together.
We could do Thread Game. Could do Thread World. Thread World.
Let's do Thread World.
Let's do Thread World. Thread World is a setting which will be teaser the campaign after PP game. When PP game ends, the Red World will be the thing. So you guys are getting a super early sneak peek.
It's very early.
Yeah. But Thread World is super cool. It's like Elden Ring, except everything's made. There's a video coming out soon. I've been working on a video for like the past month and a bit. Brooke and I have already designed a monster for Threadworld and whatnot. It's coming out very soon. Editing it's just been a bastard, and I have a lot of skits to get through. So, but
That's
yeah.
valid.
Yeah, but
it's exciting. We made a monster. Can I show them the picture? Because I think it's cool. Can I give them a sneak peek?
How would you do that?
I would just hold up my iPad.
Oh, do that. Yeah. Show them a sneak peek. Show them show them that shit.
Okay, this is the monster that we came up with. I'm gonna do the version without the title behind it because I think it's a little bit clearer to see the monster. Let me pull out. I think it's so cool. So we came up with a monster that we called the Undreamed, and the concept is that it is crap.
More to your right.
My right?
Yeah. More to your left. There you go.
Okay.
That's it.
Anyway, the concept is that it's people who get lost in the dreaming, and then echoes of themselves appear on the material plane, but then every time someone sees them, the memory of that echo impacts the physical creature. And so over time, because people don't remember things perfectly, they get gradually more and more warped, and they end up these horrible monstrosities that consume people in their dreams. But yes, Threadworld is Elden Ring plus a sewing machine. That's the best way to put it. Can we do one of the cool NPCs that we designed? Because Threadworld, the other thing about Threadworld is this is an us project that we were both gonna DM.
Yeah, we'll swap in DMs probably.
But what if we did like the Seamstress or something? Because we came up with some cool NPCs.
The Seamstress?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one that like stitched thread into themselves, like embroidered thread on themselves?
Maybe, because we had the Seamstress, the Puppet Master,
and the Tailor.
The Tailor. We should do one of these.
Yeah, we should. I think the Seamstress is cool. The Seamstress was the one they stitched one of their own eyes shut to see into the dreaming.
Or was it both eyes?
Maybe it was both. I think most people only stitch one, but she stitched both. Yeah.
Also, quick aside, this is not going to make sense to an audience. What if the tailor has to do with like stitching paper? Because if death is the texture of paper, tailoring. Yeah. Okay. We'll circle back. We'll circle back in our world build.
Yeah. But
later.
At any rate, the Seamstress.
Okay. This is exciting. I'm excited about this one.
So the Seamstress is this entity, kind of runs almost like a cult, where people will take their threads that tie them to this, the great knot, the Erd tree, and it ties them to that and thus binds them in this eternal life. However, people can also snip and cut their threads from the knot, or sew the thread into their own flesh, granting them things. The Seamstress has taken this a step further and has made it into like these embroidery stitches that run across people, and will embroider patterns with their own threads onto their skin. And you can also stitch your eyes shut to see into the land of the dreaming, which is a very dangerous place, to say the least. So the Seamstress is the head of this cult. I imagine she is like embroidered all over.
So like her skin is just full of embroidery tattoos. Like, and it's like actual stitching.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take some notes on like the concept of her. Because I like this. Okay, so she's covered in embroidery tattoos. Because we also need this information for if we have to take notes later on it.
Yes.
We can't keep losing all of our notes or not taking notes.
Exactly.
Okay. So she's covered in embroidery tattoos. These tattoos are supposedly going to have like other effects and things. Oh, can she unstitch them? Do you think to like release? No, that's just a flavor thing to release. I don't. Yeah.
I don't think.
What
so.
is that? What is the? But what is the impact?
I feel like
What are we feeling?
it's when you stitch yourself with your own thread, you are making yourself even closer tied to the knot in a way. But when you close yourself off, but with closing off like your eyes and stuff, you are like distancing yourself from the physical world. It's kind of how I've been like metaphorizing it almost. But
Okay.
like, I imagine like, what if that's her mythic? She undoes all of her embroidery,
Ooh, I like it.
distancing herself. Like, the embroidery ties yourself to the knot even closer, but like, it like weirds it almost, I imagine, because like the knot gives you like, it ties you in a specific way. It gives you a specific like thread wrapped around your wrist, your arm, your ankle, sometimes your neck. But like, I feel like if you stitch it into like, take that thread and you stitch it along your skin, you're warping that, making it closer, but in like a wrong way almost.
You're like tying yourself to unreality.
Yeah, I imagine it's almost like,
I think.
it's almost like, I imagine it's almost like zealotry in a way.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh.
Now, what are we doing? We are building a CR30 monster. Yes, we are building for a world that Brooke and I are designing.
I like starting with lore. I know you like starting with mechanics, but we're starting with lore.
We will make do.
The thematics help. But okay, all right. So, stitching your eyes shut brings you closer to the dreaming. Mechanically, what do we think this means? Like, things that are closer to the dreaming, what kind of mechanical impact? Because I feel like I want there to be a vibe. So when someone's closer to the dreaming versus closer to death, because we effectively decided that the three key planes of existence are the material plane, the dreaming, and death. And we decided that as things get unstitched from the material plane, they start like breaking off of reality and drifting into the dreaming. But then we also decided that death, being the texture of paper and being able to fold it like origami and make like changes, like physical changes and alterations, like death being almost this conquering of the physical self, was a big element. So, do we want to do the seamstress or do we want to do the tailor? Because like this idea of like stitching then...
If you have more ideas for the tailor, let's do the tailor.
I don't know. I don't know. We could attempt both if we get through the seamstress, but...
Yeah. Did y'all watch Sandman? Brooke loves Sandman.
Listen, you have to understand, Sandman is like one of my favorite stories of all time. If not my... it's not my favorite, but it's definitely up there. It's maybe top 2. And the comics are my favorite comics of all time. I am obsessed. I have been for so long. Neil Gaiman is an icon and I adore everything about them. Like the horror balanced with like the literary mastery is just...
This isn't a Sandman stream though. We are building a monster.
It's not,
we don't
but it is
going
to impact how everybody on top of... Okay. What are your monster?
Tailor or the seamstress?
All right, you know what? What if we sit here? Let's nut out the like thematic ideas for both a little bit and then pick one.
Okay.
Because then we can decide with all of the information.
I imagine the seamstress like in warping her like like literally warping your perception of reality with stitching this stuff into you. I imagine the vibe is like these people like I imagine like it's like they're almost like tense in a way, but in like they how they move is stilted a little bit. Like they seem kind of like they're like stuck and like tight, you know?
Interesting. Okay. I think I was thinking of it more like patchwork. an embroidery leaning into that, but I kind of like both of these.
Yeah, I imagine it can be like both. Like it's like
yeah,
like there is this embroidery, but it makes them just like it's like if you embroider your whole arm, like get a sleeve, like that arm is now just like this tense, almost unreal entity.
But what I'm saying, I think, is what if it's more like there's different factions who sort of took it in different ways that all like serve her. Some are more of like this type, because then we can do things differently aesthetically and then mechanically. Because I'm thinking also like like almost like a patchwork quilt vibe with some of them. And sewing magic into your skin.
What if the patches, the patch people, the people who have patches on their skin, like they will play with like storing magic in the patches and they can rip them off, and then we can have that be a thing. Like that's where that comes from.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
That's. Ooh.
And it's and the patches can be something that's less permanent as well. Like that's kind of like the point of them is like it is this less permanent fixture. Whereas the embroidery is this permanent thing that you would like. It's a commitment. The patch is something that's like for a brief stint of power. Like there's almost a mechanic. Passive buff while it's on, instant gratification when it's off. So you keep it, you get a passive buff, you rip it off, you cast a big spell.
I like that. I like that a lot. Now we're just coming up with world building lore, but
like that can fit in can fit in with because then what does that mean when you undo embroidery? Like if the patch is supposed to be that can work really well for the seamstress for her mythic.
So passive effect while it's on, rip it off for big effect. I like that. And then so mythic action undoes embroidery and rips off patches, and then we can just flavor like the recharge weapon as like ripping off a patch or something. I also like, so we've been talking a lot lately about how in Pathfinder 2nd edition there is, and I don't know about 1st edition, so like it could be in 1st edition as well. Basically, you roll a die, like a d4, and the recharge weapon is guaranteed to recharge in that many turns.
Yeah, that's a Pathfinder
I like
thing.
the idea of setting that as a timer, but I also think that our fights don't last long enough to roll a d4. I almost think you're guaranteed 1 round of safety and then it's going to recharge. Like, that's how I prefer to think of it. Like it goes off. You don't, because our fights go for 2 to 3 rounds.
What if it's D4? What if it's like flip a coin?
About whether or not it recharges next round or the round after?
Yeah.
I like that.
I think coin flip.
Okay, coin flip. Sounds good. So recharge weapon, coin flip.
I like that. Okay.
I also like the idea that if it doesn't recharge on the next turn, it's worse the next time. Like there's an added effect when it does recharge.
Extra dice damage, maybe?
It could be extra dice damage. Like we could be like double the damage that it deals, or we could go for something else. Maybe it has, because it's funny.
Kids.
You hit me for 298 points of damage the other day.
Whose fault is that?
Excuse you? Also, chat, to anyone who does watch PP Game, I would like to make the point that Viari didn't break a pinky promise. I went back and watched that scene, and Viari didn't make a pinky promise in that scene.
We're gonna make a retcon where she didn't break a pinky promise, but she did break a. Yeah,
dumb.
It's like yeah, maybe don't tell your dad that you're running an underground fight ring in their basement. It's not a crime, but Yeah.
Oh, you've got a bot.
It's okay. Nightbot should take care of it. Nightbot, take care of it. Nightbot. Thank you, Nightbot.
Good job. Okay, so do we want to use stacks mechanic for this, or do you know what? I think we should play with the idea of the tinker points that I've been messing around with, because for something like a seamstress or a tailor, that feels thematically appropriate.
I agree.
I haven't finalized the mechanics for this though. I haven't figured out everything. This is still in like the.
We can play with the idea, but I feel like I feel like we have ideas for the seamstress. Let's do the seamstress.
Okay.
What
if we get enough time, we're doing the other one.
Okay. I feel. What if we have idea? What if like, so the seamstress like kind of can like float. I imagine she's like very stiff at first, like almost like rendered immobile by the amount of embroidery she has, and she kind of like just like floats around, just like doing shit to you. Like she can only talk.
Interesting.
Like she's sewed her eyes shut. I imagine she's just like this, like nearly just like immobile entity with only her dexterous fingers barely like able to do stuff.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Because she's supposed to be one of like the tethered who was strayed from the path of what she was supposed to do, right? So
yeah. What are the tethered offbeat?
The tethered. The tarnished, the tethered, I mean, are the player characters. They are entities who are tied to the great knot, tree. Ah, shit. But one thing.
We were playing too much Elden Ring when we came up with this.
Way too much Elden Ring.
We literally went, let's build a world that's vaguely based off Elden Ring.
And then we made Elden Ring. But basically, the tethered are entities who are tied to the great knot that keeps the world together. We haven't figured out exactly what their quest is, but they gotta get to the knot, and return the threads. And they can see the threads that string everything together. Other people cannot. Regular folk cannot.
You mean the sites of grace?
The sites. Shut up. You may call these people untethered, but the tethered can see the threads. They also cannot dream.
They can't dream. No, they are the only ones who can't. They go to the dreaming. Everyone else can't dream.
Yes. Oh, right. They go to the dreaming every night. And when they go to the dreaming, they have to deal with it. Everybody else gets to sleep, though.
Yeah, because
But, at the very least, and we haven't, and all of this, by the way, if this changes when the game actually happens... Yeah, it's a year out, like.
Yeah, I know, we're probably not getting to running this for ages.
Yeah, we're still building shit. At any rate,
I think that we should. I feel like this. What's going to help us is defining what is so special about the dreaming, and specifically the mechanics tied to the dreaming, and like what it is to.
So the dreaming, I imagined it almost as this world where you have almost a heightened control over your own reality in a way, because it is this world of like the unreal things. Like it is in a dream, you can just think things into happening.
So the texture of dreams is supposed to be ink. Do we think that with the seamstress, there's something about like ink bleeding into the threads and the... Like if she's sewed her eyes shut, oh my god, maybe her mythic action involves unpicking the sewing on her eyes.
Yeah, and she sees.
Yeah. Starts like leaking ink or something.
Oh, ooh. Oh. Wait.
Yeah.
We could like tie her to the undreamed as well a little bit.
We could. I don't want it to be too similar though, especially because you've got that video coming out.
We can definitely link it though.
Maybe she can call upon echoes.
Yeah, she can. I feel like she can definitely use their abilities and like to an extent, or like take stuff. Lexi, you cannot say Taylor Lautner breakdancing to Dream in the background. I'm going to die.
Amazing.
Goddamn. Dream,
but how do we want to figure out? So we need to do recharge weapon, but that can kind of wait. Maybe.
I feel like we can figure out that as we design some of her like base. Let's. I feel like some of her base abilities, like she's like initial actions. Like let's think of like. I want to think of her like her main mechanic, like the gimmick of the fight. Let's think of that. I think the gimmick of the fight has to do with like. What if she like.
I'm giving her at-will banishment, so that she can, but she specifically sends people to the dreaming.
Sounds good. What do you mean at-will plane shift?
Oh right, yeah. Well, no, because I mean, plane shift is kind of permanent, so
you want the impermanence of banishment? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's gonna have the dream spell, because I think that fits. If we're tying into dreams, I think all of this fits. Why do I keep imagining like some twisted version of, is it Renala, the queen?
The Carrion, yeah, the queen of Carrion.
Yeah.
Ooh, what idea. What if she can apply a condition, a stack thing, at the end of the turn, roll dice, add to the count. But once the count reaches 5 times your charisma score, you are banished to the dreaming.
Ooh, like properly perma-banish, plane shift sort of situation.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And I like tying it to the charisma score. You know, we've been talking about adding a tiers mechanic to the stacks mechanics. And like once you hit a certain threshold, X effect happens. I think tying it to scores like that is really cool. I like that. So, and that also rewards people who have higher charisma, which I like because my charisma score is always my best one.
Yeah.
Okay.
RIP fighters. Okay. So 5 times charisma score. Cha is, we'll call it the threshold, I guess. The stack application process. 5 times charisma is roughly going to equal. It's 5 times 15. 75? No, not 75. That doesn't make sense. Does it? Yeah, it is 75.
I don't know. Whenever maths is involved, I either get out my calculator or wait for you to do it.
That's valid. Oh, shit. One sec. Yeah, it's 75. So roughly it's going to be 75. Also, Lexi just drew an image of the Seamstress, and it's great. I sent it in Discord.
Nice.
It's fucking phenomenal. What the fuck? Anyway, so what if, I feel like if it's 75 as the average, that is 10 D12 is the instant fail. D12s might be too much. I think we have it to D6s. So you need 20 D6. She can apply, let's say, 5.
I think also if you manage to get rid of your stacks or your account or whatever, like if you manage to reduce it, you come back.
Yeah, if you manage to reduce, ooh, you can't ever reduce your stacks. What if you can only reduce the amount that's currently applied to you? Because the count keeps,
what do you mean?
So like at the end of your turn, you'll roll the amount, and that adds to the count, sort of like how sleep count works.
And you're saying you don't want it to so you're saying you don't want to ever be able to reduce the number of stacks applied to you?
Yeah, I wonder if that's interesting, or if that's too harsh.
Yeah, I think what that does is put you into a fail state, because the way that we define the difference between like a stack's count versus the stacks themselves is when the creature is applying a certain number of stacks. Say it hits you 5 times and you get 5 stacks from that, or whatever. Maybe it's applying 2 stacks per hit and it's actually like 10 stacks. Those are the dice that you have to roll. When you roll those dice and you come out, like say it was 10 d6 or whatever, that brings you to 35 on average. Because the average roll of a d6 is 3.5. Anyway, when you roll that number that you get is your stacks count, and that keeps going up every time you roll dice and add to it. And so if your stacks count gets to 75, then you get plane shifted to the dreaming. So you're saying you can reduce your stacks count, but not the number of stacks. I think this puts us into a fail state, specifically because it just means that you're going to get to a point where whenever the stacks are triggered, you're going. Like, and then you're out of the fight. I think this messes with the action economy in a way that means that someone is just getting bamfed out of existence, like, on a regular basis. And that's annoying. And we don't want that.
No, that's a good point.
However, I think we need to be able to reduce both of them, but maybe we set a system where like you can, do X thing.
I want to make reducing the count easier, but then reducing the stacks. Because reducing the count, I think then that creates the interesting opportunity for players to be like, I've got a massive count and low stacks, let's get rid of those. Or it's like, I can remove this count, I'm going to gamble on the amount of stacks I have. I think that creates an interesting problem for the players.
Okay.
I think...
Alright. I like the idea that you can remove both, but you would want to focus on one more than the other.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. So, banishes you to dreaming. That's really cool. So I liked... We were talking about this with the Undreamed. I want to do something similar with her, but I don't think I want to do the same thing. Where I remember with the Undreamed, I wanted to make it so that if you like failed a certain save, or if you got a certain number of stacks of sleep or whatever it was, you ignored the benefits of your next short rest and then your next long rest if it got too bad. Something like that like impacts you, that makes you a little bit fearful for like the longevity of the next sort of X amount of time when you're going into this fight.
We can definitely play with that. I think we need to think about how the stacks are applied and how they're triggered for a bit.
We could do... Okay.
So, like, we typically would do it with, like, attack roll-based things where, like, she'll apply... Like, you'll be on hit with an attack, you get a stack. Or, like...
Do we want to make it whenever a player misses a shot?
Misses an attack roll?
Misses an attack roll.
With punishing is funny.
You say that's funny now. When I used that against you, you're all like...
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. I didn't say shit. I didn't say nothing.
Later on, you were like, I wonder if it's punishing people too much for already missing their shots. And I was like, I
did wonder. I couldn't, with respect to Danny, though, who makes 2 attacks in a turn, he got fucked over. I made like 17. So I don't care. But
skill issue. Danny rolled exceptionally badly in that fight. But
that was some next level bad. I feel bad for him.
That was.
So
however,
I do like the on miss stuff. I I'm trying to think of like what that would mean, like lore, like in like thematically is like as they go by, is she like as they miss, is she like nicking their magic with like a needle, just like.
That would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
I like the idea of her being able to unstitch their armor class a little bit as well.
I like that too. I like that.
I don't like when you get excited about a mechanic because it's in those moments that I remember I'm gonna have to fight
talking about
something.
scissors as like important thing. What if she has the
Oh. Yep. Okay. I almost... What if she has the ability to snip the threads that would bring you back if you died, so Revivify won't work during her fight? Or healing, or something like that. Like she can snip off a part of your, like your access to healing, or your access to Revivify, or your access to part of your sheet. Like snipping off access to a stat.
I kind of like what you did with Kiari. I like the idea of it's like I kind of want to put like a contested revivification check in there. Like I kind of like that. I think the lockpicking check was hilarious. I want to see if we can do something similar, but maybe not the same though, for sure. Because what if it's like you have to roll just like with your spellcasting ability modifier, you're proficient in the check, like against her like some check that she would make that would snip the threads of the unconscious player that you're trying to of the dead player that you're trying to revivify. Something like that. And that
because that gives the vibe of the fates and their thread and the.
And then she can just like she's just kind of like and it's and like she has to use her reaction to do that, I think.
You know what? Oh, if this was more of a thing, if we had mechanics that, because I know we're talking about recreating the flask, like the wondrous flask or whatever it's called, in order to give buffs and things, but we were going to come up with a bunch of mechanics to buff things. If that was tied to upping stats, if we made this more of a mechanic in the game, wouldn't it be cool if one of her abilities was like stitching stats in place so you can't buff them?
Can't use like can't use guidance on it, or like bardic inspiration on anything that uses that stat. I like that.
Maybe.
I like that.
I don't like you like this. I don't like these situations. We have these conversations and then I'm like, I'm in danger.
Yeah, she just kind of like fixed.
Chat, feel free to point this out when I'm complaining about it later.
Yeah, I'd be like, this was your idea. Next
You'll be like, didn't mean to use it against me.
Brooke, entertain the chat. I need to go get pizza. Entertain chat.
Amazing. Great. All right. So now I have to talk to myself. Okay. So like thematically, I like the idea of tying this to dreams and of thread. And I almost, because we've made the texture of dreams ink, I almost like the idea that you can saturate the thread in some capacity and it applies a mechanical effect. Like it could be that it halves your movement. It could be that it debuffs you. It could be... Chat, feel free to toss us ideas as well. What kind of debuff though? I like the AC thing. I do like the idea of being able to unstitch someone's AC, like they fail a dex save or a con save. And I say dex specifically because AC is tied to dex, but is that maybe targeting people who already have low AC and low dex and just putting them into a fail state, and then the people who have high dex and therefore a higher AC in the first place? No, because a lot of the buffs to AC don't come from dex specifically. maybe what she does is she unstitches your ability to buff your AC. And so you can't apply things like Gift of Alacrity and the random debuff on percent die. Interesting. I think I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea of a random debuff on a percentile die. However, are we then gonna have to sit there coming up with 100 debuffs? Not 100, but we're gonna have to come up with a random Yeah. Interesting. Give her ink summons or something. Maybe Ink Shield. I cast Ink Shield in response.
In response, I cast Ink Shield, and all damage inflicted is reduced to 0, and I get that many 2-1 flyers. Wait.
But what if? What if as a reaction, she can turn the number... Okay. What if as a As a reaction, she reduces damage to 0 and then creates, maybe not that many, because a player could be dealing a fuck ton of damage, or maybe that many, I don't know, little minions. Did we just make Ink Shield a D&D mechanic? This is the second time in like 3 days that this has happened, where we've gone, isn't this such a dumb idea? And then we both turned around and went,
wait a minute.
The first time was a breath weapon that just created minions. So this is kind of along those lines as well. Okay. Oh, I like the Ink Shield thing. Because then also, what if she can expend the little ink minions for other effects?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like spending them to buff her AC or to increase the damage of her attacks or to upcast spells. Maybe she kills them in order to, instead of spell slots, like she kills a certain number per spell level to cast certain spells. Maybe if she has a certain number, it increases the number of spells she can concentrate on. Like if she has 50 of these things, then she can concentrate on a second spell. If she has 150, she can concentrate on 3.
That one.
That one?
Yeah.
Because then it incentivizes AoE damage as well. No, I like that. I like that a lot.
What if as well, the stacks, when you roll them, you create that many ink things?
I kind of love that. Okay. Roll stacks, create that many inklings. I love that we were going for like embroidery and seamstress stuff. Yeah. We're gonna have to tie in the embroidery somehow, but we'll get to that. Maybe this is for phase 2.
Maybe.
Maybe this is post-mythic action, because, you know, she gets unstitched, and maybe it's just like, after she gets unstitched, her insides just like collapse into ink and then reform into like this ink dark figure. And it's more to do with like, she's been released, and
yeah.
Ooh, this is almost like 2 monsters in one. This is almost
it is.
Fight A and Fight B.
Hell
I like
yeah,
this. I like this a lot for big bosses. Okay. And then I've got to give a reactions section. God, this is good.
Big fan. Big fan.
So as a reaction, the Seamstress can reduce all damage taken in a or received in a turn. Yeah, received in a turn to 0 and create that many 1/1 Inklings with flying.
They're 2/1s. Thank you.
Oh, my deepest apologies. They're now 1/1s.
Oh, okay.
No, they're 2. Okay, they're 2/1s. But that means nothing in D&D terms. So, okay. Now I need a little section in here on the Inklings themselves and what I'm going to do with the Inklings, because I like the idea. Oh, the more Inklings she has, the more spells she can concentrate on, / maybe other effects. This is so good. This is so good. Okay. 50 equals concentrate on 2 spells. 150 equals concentrate on 3. And if she gets 300, the party's screwed. 300 equals concentrate on 4 spells. Not the same spells.
No, never
though.
the same spell twice. That we're already fine with, because you can only have 1 spell affecting a creature of the same name, with the same one.
Right.
Yeah. 1 proper. So, but what if depending on the number of Inklings, at 100 Inklings, she also gets 2 more action points.
Ooh, I like that.
200 Inklings, 2 more action points. 300. 2 more. Yeah. This is her breath weapon. This is her recharge.
Action. Yeah. Points. Is it okay? So it's a breath weapon. It's not a reaction. Maybe. Do you know what? Here's an idea. What if the breath weapon was a reaction?
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
This reaction is on her recharge. Yeah.
This is okay. So this is a recharge. Interesting. So then we're effectively designing around reactions.
We're designing around this being
as
the
action.
thing.
This being, yeah, but that's cool. That's a concept that we haven't explored a lot of, like designing around reactions and like making the breath weapon a reaction.
But this frees up her
That's
action.
cool.
Yeah, and this
Hold on, that's cool.
and now we can make
that makes it super responsive.
And now we can make her actions really, like her spells really interesting as well.
Yeah, we could even design some new spells if we're using the Inklings. 200 extra action points. Okay, I like this. Okay. What other effects do we think the Inklings can have?
Inklings provide her with those buffs, the buffs to her action points, the buffs to her concentration. What if
magic?
This might be double dipping on the health buffer, but what if instead of taking damage, she can still kill that many Inklings?
I think that works if
I mean, I think...
You know what? If she's doing this, it's to get rid of the amount of damage applied to her in a turn, then she's not going to have so many Inklings that it's going to be that much of a problem.
What if we give her like 300 hit points?
And I think more.
No, but...
But CR 30.
I know, but then think about it. Like, think how much damage Viari can do in a turn. It's about 300 damage. She negates all of that. She now has 300 Inklings, which she negated all of that.
I guess if you do that to
that's effectively
with Godfrey.
that this effectively in dealing that damage, you've effectively done nothing, just except you've effectively dealt 300 damage.
You buff her.
And then she gets another 300 damage, and she has a buff. So that's effectively, if we give her 300 at base, you deal 300, and then that's effectively 900 hit points.
If she used them all to get rid of her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that is an option that is there. So, like, I think this ability, we have to give her slightly lower than average hit points.
Yeah.
Based on how much. This ability, also, weirdly enough, this ability scales to your party. Because if you are with min-maxers, this happens. If you're not with min-maxers, you might get 50. You might get 100 at the most. So it's like, this is a scalable ability.
Should we add some kind of additional effect based on the number of hits? Not a multiplier, but like an additional, because you've hit like 7 times.
I don't think so.
That might be overcomplicating it. I like that as a concept, but I think that's overcomplicating it for this fight. I agree. Yeah.
Put that somewhere else. That's a good idea, but I think that's not for this fight. I think this reaction is already like a ridiculous monstrosity. I think we need to now like think about a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reaction. So the reaction. Recharge, coin toss. I feel like we need to make it recharge like a coin toss +1. Because it recharges in 1 turn. That means next turn she gets it back.
Yeah, what if we just say it recharges every other turn?
Recharge every...
I want the thread of it coming back like soon, like, because the other thing too is that it's going to automatically recharge on the mythic action. Probably she's going to be hitting her mythic action by the end of round 1. Chances are.
Yeah, you're right.
So, if not, maybe a turn or 2 into round 2. So, I feel like...
I just like tying it to dice though, because that feels fun. I like
I
rolling
know,
dice.
but I want it to come back. You know what? When you run the fight, you tie it to a D4, and then there's the opportunity for it to not come back for a while, and that's how many rounds we have of. When I run the fight, it guarantees come back after a turn off.
Sure.
That sounds sus.
I'm agreeing.
I know, but it's way worse. Like, my version is way worse on the players, and it's weird that you agreed with me.
I'll run it.
Interesting. Oh, when she goes unstitched, the Inklings explode. Well, no, because the Inklings is part of the mythic action. So this is second half of the fight is the Inklings. We haven't even done the first half where she's all stitched up and embroidered. Interesting. Okay. So, first half of the fight, does she have a different recharge weapon?
I almost want to say no. I feel like this is kind of interesting that this hints that this is almost like a hint. It's like, why is she making Inklings? Like, everyone's like, why is Ink here? But by the time you fight this thing, you're going to be like, what the fuck is Ink doing here? That's the dreaming. Why is she affiliated with the dreaming? I kind of like that he hints at that.
I like that, actually, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to add this in it. I'm trying to keep on top of notes so that I don't lose track. Okay. So, with the ink stuff and with the thread, I I do want to have her fiddling with the player's resources a little bit. Targeting spell slots is always like an easy, fun way to classic. Eat their spell slots. Make them cast Fireball on themselves. Highest level spell slot. Who would do that? Levels of Exhaustion, also a classic.
Blunder. Classic
yeah.
Blunder. What if she... Oh, I've got this idea of like people being like people having to fight to move almost.
Okay, because we had this on a monster, and I get this. So like the damage, so pinning someone, you're talking about like pinning threads into someone, and then the more they move away from that spot, they take damage.
Yeah, that's like unraveling, but I'm almost wondering like as they move, they get stitched into the ground or something. Like I don't know. I've just got this image of like people just like walking, and then like as they look behind them, there's like these embroidered threads of their boots behind them. I don't know. That's just like an image in my head that I had though, so I don't know if I can tie that to a mechanic.
I like it as an image, and I don't want to throw it out of hand.
Yeah. We'll call this stacks of thread, so that the count is called your thread count.
The fact that it's tied to the dreaming just works so much better. That's so funny. That's so stupid, but so funny.
I'm the funny man. I'm making the jokes.
I still kind of like the ability to plane shift people to the dreaming.
I do. Do we keep that on the thread count though?
Maybe that is something we have to keep separately. We can just have Banishment as a spell that specifically transports people to the dreaming
like
instead of
her demi plane is just a section of the dreaming. Yeah.
We can
We can flavor that.
maybe something. We tie that into something. We can also do something tied to sleep stacks if we needed to. Okay, so
what if the
I'm gonna check my sheet. Sometimes I forget what we can attack until I look at an actual sheet.
Reducing spellcasting, ability route modifiers, spell save DCs in general. Ability.
We still want the players to be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing is, when you start targeting, and it's not like you should never target these things, but the thing to keep in mind with targeting anything like spell save DCs, ability, like the 2-hit modifiers, stuff like that, is that it starts reducing what the players can do, and it makes the fight unfun. Because it should be difficult, not because the players can't do anything, but because it's causing problems. What spells? Let's just have a look at some D&D spells to get some ideas.
I was thinking of her concentration spells that she would have up. I'm thinking Sickening Radiance, Spike Growth. Because you can have many concentration spells up at once.
See, Spike Growth could be cool because maybe she can use Thread to drag people across the spikes. Like with Eldritch Blast. Fuck. cheese grater. That's the Lair action.
Oh, it's so fucking funny.
That's the Lair action.
What,
is
spike
the
growth?
threads pull people. No, the Lair action is the threads pulling people into positions that she wants. And if she's able to concentrate on spike growth, and if a player deals enough damage to her that she has to make a concentration check, she gets to choose which spell she loses concentration on. Oh, so it's a deck
the image
save.
of her just like threads. And
Oh god. We can re-flavor the spikes too to be like, I don't know, like
needles.
embroidery or something. Yeah. Oh, needles! Right, of course. That's good, that's good, that's good. So dumb.
It's so
Okay.
It's so brutal.
Dex. What?
We're just like, oh god, they just feel like this pinprick in their back, and they're like, oh god, and they just get dragged, ragdolled over these spikes.
This is so rude. Of
Strength
her choosing. I think that she should be able to put. I'm thinking Dex. No, you think strength check?
I think strength. I think it's like you're fighting. I think she's fighting against threads. Why are you advocating for either or? You're bad at both, and with the Ari.
I'm better at strength. I mean at Dex. I've got a -1 to strength, and I've got a +2 to Dex. Please, I auto-fail all the Dex stuff anyway.
Yeah, so who cares? It makes more sense if it's strength.
I hate this. Well, I was thinking because... I guess the way that I was envisaging it was these threads sort of like coming out and like twisting, wrapping hold of you and then dragging you across. So I was thinking of it as kind of... You can dodge the thread.
I was thinking of it like you can't dodge the thread. You have to fight whether or not you get dragged.
Okay. Fine. But the DC is going to be lower for this because we all know everyone dumps strength.
Everyone, you clearly don't know about Nerium and Nova on Void Scourge in Space every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Two very strong space adventurers going on a pirate adventure at twitch.tv/surfeffers_. Sorry, I had to plug.
So I've seen 90% of your builds, I think, at this point. Most of the time, you're not doing anything with strength. Can we just accept that strength is a kind of everyone's favorite dump stat and move on?
For me, it's wisdom.
I can't even agree
How
with you. Yours wisdom? How is yours wisdom? I don't understand wisdom as a dump stat. I hate that I have to dump wisdom because we use the points by, like, we use the point by for your games. Dumping wisdom is torturous because so many saves target it.
Yes.
This is why DMing for you is weirdly easy. For all the power building that you do, it's literally just dominate person. Not that I've ever really done that in a fight, but it's always there. Your wisdom saves are awful.
Yeah.
Why do you do this? It feels cheap to attack. I almost don't attack them.
I know.
Like,
it's great.
It's dumb.
Great. It's like, look,
I don't want to attack
here's the clear weakness to the power build. Are you gonna use it? Are you gonna use it and be a coward?
Wait, is this a dare? Would you like me?
I know you would if you wanted to. It's not a dare. I'm just saying.
Less?
All the same. Void Scourge in Space, Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/surfeffers. Anyway, I think it's strength check. I really want it to be a strength check.
Okay, we can go strength check. Or strength save.
Strength save, yeah.
Drag people across the lair into a position of her choosing, up to 30 feet.
Well, if we're comboing this with spike growth, it's 2d4 per foot. So that would be 30 feet is...
Oh, it's 2d4 per foot or 5 feet? Per 5 feet.
It's a it's per 5 feet. Yeah, that would be 30 damage. Right, it's a damage per foot. That's how it works. I got confused. Yeah, so that'd be 30 damage, which is quite a lot. I think 30 feet's good, but we just have to be aware of it.
30 or 20? Let's
maybe 20. Maybe 20.
Okay.
Because that's just like strength check, 20 damage.
Yeah. Okay. I feel that. All right. Okay. Combo with spike growth. Interesting. So then, not only are you being moved into whatever position she feels like, because of the Lair action, you're also taking damage. It's just so rude.
It's so funny.
What an ass.
It's hilarious.
Oh, you know what I kind of like is no. I was gonna say this unfairly targets marshals, but it would be cool if there was in some sort of fight the ability to spend spell slots to reduce the amount of damage that you take, but not necessarily in the
that's an ability Bladesingers have.
Wait, is it really?
Yeah. Bladesingers at 10th level get Song of Defense. As a reaction, they can spend a spell slot and reduce the damage received by 5 times the slot level expend.
Oh, okay.
It's just usually in the fights that you throw up against my Bladesinger, it's usually more advantageous for me to use Absorb Elements because it's more
I was gonna say Absorb Elements works.
Usually it covers it.
Better, yeah.
But like if I'm taking damage that's like Necrotic or Radiant, for example, I can't Absorb Elements that, so I would use Blade of Song of Defense instead.
Yeah, and I deal a lot of necrotic damage, to be fair.
But I just also I haven't really gotten to the point where I want to expend that because my spell slots are pretty valuable.
Yeah, those 7th level Spirit Shrouds.
It's very good. Okay.
Anyway.
The image of the party just getting ragdolled is stuck in my head. It's so like it's so unceremonious and so undignified. I think is my
it's
thing.
just like
it's like oh fuck.
Right across. Yeah. It's also
Okay.
What an ass.
Okay. Spells. Spike growth. I'm thinking
At will.
I think all of these are at will, if I'm being honest. Except for some very specific ones.
Do we think
Yeah?
that she can expend Inklings to maintain concentration on a spell? So she just takes the damage. No, because if she can expend Inklings to reduce damage, then she's already doing that to maintain concentration on spells. I agree.
Sickening Radiance, Spike Growth, Sickening Radiance, Synaptic Static.
I like the idea that Sickening Radiance is flavored as something like, you know how in factories people would get like depending on what they were making, it was common for people to get like silver poisoning or lead poisoning or whatever back in the day. No one
Mercury
knew.
poisoning.
I like the mercury poison, all those sorts of things. I like the idea, something to do with ink. What's an ingredient in ink that's poisonous?
Lead?
Is lead in ink?
It used to be.
Did it really?
I didn't know paint
that.
for a while. Like lead-based paint is a thing.
Yeah, I know, because if you just paint your walls with lead-based paint in D&D, then people can't. Oh my god, my favorite abuse, I've told you about this, of the spell locate object is that because you can search for a specific item that you have seen before, or you can search for like the nearest example of an item of like a kind, so you can just use it to find lead-lined boxes even if you can't pass through lead. So you can just, if everyone's keeping their valuables in lead-lined boxes, you can just find the lead-lined boxes with it. My comment section told me, oh, just use lead paint on the walls, and it's like, okay, we'll poison your village then, I guess. But all that is to say, I want to poison the players.
Well, according to Google.com, colored inks can contain lead, cadmium, chromium, nickel, and titanium. These metals can trigger allergic reactions and potentially lead to disease.
Okay, nice.
So this, I would assume so. And according to Healthline.com, the ink from pens and markers is considered minimally toxic, and it's difficult to be exposed to large quantities of it.
I mean...
Clearly they haven't seen me at the Michaels.
What is that?
Catch me by the ink section. Just...
What are you doing at a Michaels? Wait. Give me like 2 seconds.
That's hilarious. Well, chat, what you thinking so far of this? This has been a nice vibey time, you know. Just making the next boss fight. Don't tell Brooke. Don't tell Brooke that it's the next boss fight.
I can hear you. I heard all of this.
Fuck.
I have color options for my ink consumption.
Oh, that's really good. What's your favorite flavor?
It's maybe like this one, which is like a teal color. It's really yummy.
Note for all of the dumbasses in my audiences. Don't eat ink. It's bad for you. If you do that, you're silly. Spike growth, sickening radiance, synaptic static.
Synaptic static's good. Especially once you get... It's probably not a first choice. We could go something to the effect of Spirit Shroud.
So you'd need like attack roll based stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can give her a multi-attack.
Alright. Spirit Shroud. 7th level.
Might as well. 7th level?
Yeah, get fucked.
Duly noted.
Counterspell it. I don't know.
Let's...
Synaptic static.
What are
Spirit
concentration spells?
Shroud. So many.
Let me go into D&D Beyond. Game rules.
Hypnotic
Is it
pattern.
game rules? Oh, hypnotic pattern. No.
Why?
I'm going to veto this one. Because using hypnotic pattern against players is unfun because it takes away the player's ability to do stuff. It's effectively the same as stun.
You're right.
I don't like it for the same reason I don't like stun mechanics.
Conjure barrage, but it's needles.
Ooh.
What
does Conjure Barrage do?
It's a pretty high level spell, but it's a 60-foot cone of damage. It deals 3d8 at base level. I think it's like, I can't remember what level it is. In my opinion, it's way too high level for value, but it's good for like a boss fight because there's no value.
Yeah.
I can just give it as many as I want.
I see. Let me search this. Does it have any additional effects or anything? Is there like...
We can give it one though. We can make it so that all damage she inflicts applies at least one stack of thread.
I don't mind it. Are we not doing on a miss?
I say both.
¿Por qué no lo estás? You throw a non-magical weapon or fire a piece of non-magical ammunition into the air to create a cone of identical weapons that shoot forward and then disappear. Each creature in a 60-foot cone must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d8 damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. The damage type is the same as that of the weapon or ammunition used as a component. Okay. What if we did something like, if someone does use absorb elements, the amount of damage they don't take, she can turn into Inklings.
Ha! Any direct damage reduction abilities Okay, but how would we word this? Because there's a lot of abilities that grant resistance. And then that means barbarians are kind of like weirdly singled out in this scenario.
What has a barbarian ever contributed to a fight?
Well,
Tell me that.
I'll have you know that Void Scourge in Space every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. There's a barbarian who's currently dealing over 300 damage in a single turn.
That's because you built it with multi-class other abilities.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not like just a barbarian.
Okay, sure.
Also, if you're dealing like 200 to 300 damage in a hit, then I don't care if I'm singling you out.
All I'm saying is,
sorry, Lexi.
It's apologize to Lex.
It's her character.
Yeah, it is. It is. Nerium's awesome. Okay, I'm a big fan.
You built it.
Yeah, it's an awesome build. I'll have you know.
I believe you.
It's great. Fucking love Nerium. But at the very least, what I was trying to reference is that the strategy then becomes find the barbarian and just lay into them and farm Inklings.
Like they don't have the hit points for it.
It's just like, I don't know if that's like, it just feels odd. I don't know.
Yeah, but okay, to be fair, we're building this for our games. When are we ever going to deal with a barbarian?
I don't know. That's a common 3-level dip.
And I'll punish them for it.
Also, what do you mean when are we dealing with a barbarian? Fucking Amelia is playing as a barbarian in your fucking campaign right now.
I know, and it's funny to watch Amelia's face when something goes horribly wrong for their character. Listen, I just recently turned them into a stained glass window. You think that
yeah, it was pretty rough. All I'm saying is you've targeted a barbarian in the last fucking fight. You're full of shit.
That was different. That was because Amelia sits there like, oh, I walked out of that fight with above 200 hit points. So what I did was make Amelia roll a Constitution saving throw, and when they failed, I made them swap hit point totals with the boss, who was on 11.
Wait, with
just
the
before
what?
the Mythic
with
action.
The bus?
Bus!
Beep beep with the bus. Swap hit points with the
It was
with
funny.
the local transit.
It was funny. I got 196 hit points, and
So
Amelia
you
got
do
stuck
target
with 11.
barbarians.
Yeah, because it was fun. Yeah, because Amelia was all like, oh, I have so many hit points.
So it sounds like you're a liar.
Yes, I play Giampiari, God of Lies, on Offbeat Outlaws, Paperwork Pantheon stream on Fridays.
Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. East, yeah.
So, all this to say, there are times when you were worried about barbarians.
I'm not worried. I just like to use their hit points to my benefit.
Alright. Well, we're doing that all damage reduced creates that many Inklings. There are a number...
It could be spells.
But I almost like the
spells that would it would reduce damage. And this includes shield. If you negate all damage by being missed because you cast shield, I get that many Inklings.
Okay, but how do you judge that based on like AC? Is it only the AC that's over and above within the 5-point threshold? Is that what we're judging then? That becomes very difficult to measure.
What do you mean?
Like, how do you judge then? Okay, so like, let's say I cast shield. My AC is now a 23 from an 18. Are all misses then going to count towards the damage reduced? But I only, let's say, I only really reduced the damage with that 5 extra AC. If you never roll above an 18, I didn't really reduce the damage there, did I?
Oh, I see. So you would have to anything that would have hit that now doesn't because of shield.
Yeah.
Maybe we can't do shield. Shield would be funny though.
I'm not against shield punishing, but because shield's a really good spell, but I don't think that this mechanic would work on it. I think we'd have to do it with something like damage reduced via via resistance granted by its spell or something.
Yeah, that only targets. Yeah, we might want to make this a passive ability because it is so specific and niche that.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Okay. Let's add it to passive. Damage reduced by a spell creates that many Inklings with flying. 2/1s with flying.
2/1s with flying, as we all know.
Yeah.
Popular.
2/1 Inkling creature tokens with flying.
I'm thinking. Okay.
What is its aura?
Get within 10 feet.
15.
10.
Why?
The reason why I say 10 as opposed to 15 is because there's rarely a reason for a player to stand at 15 feet anyway.
I was only conceding to 15 because I normally make them 30 foot, but...
I make them 10 feet so that I can punish Spirit Shroud users.
Yeah, thanks for that, by the way.
Yep. Oh wait, you couldn't see that one.
Fuck off!
Hey guys, look, it's accurate to Brooke's actual hand size. Also, Lexi gave me this ring, and it's just the eyes of a very disgruntled man. You guys can't see it, but I put it on my middle finger so that you
can't see it.
Let me see.
This is now makeup beauty YouTube.
Yeah, I'm trying to show you the disgruntled eyes of this man.
Maybe if you stop, like, wiggling it around, it'll focus. You know, I believe you, but this is not...
Look how disappointed
he
is, everybody. Look how disappointed he
That's
is.
because he's looking at you.
He's looking at the camera. Anyway,
okay.
I put him on my middle finger now, so I can be disappointed at the same time.
Let's figure out mechanics.
Well, she's got Spike Growth, Sickening Radiance, Synaptic Static, Spirit Shroud at 7th level, Banishment. She needs more damage.
I almost think sacrificing Inklings to increase the damage of attacks as well. Like if I sacrifice, I don't know, up to maybe a maximum of however many.
Let's give her Wall of Force as well.
Or maybe she has to take damage herself to increase the damage. Like what you did with one of them.
I think the Inklings make sense. That's her resource.
I guess. We also need a reliable way for her to generate Inklings, or at the very least, we're going to have to balance the stacks mechanic in such a way that...
We already do have a way for her to generate Inklings, and that's on the stacks of thread.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We need to balance the stacks mechanic in order to make sure that she's consistently getting a good amount. And I think that when she dies, all of the Inklings die as well. But also probably... No, because that doesn't make sense. They're probably going to die before she does. Because she's going to be using them to buff hit points.
Yeah.
How many should she start off with?
Cheeky 100?
Interesting.
Or a cheeky 50?
I almost feel like we need to playtest that.
I would agree.
Yep. So I'm going to make a note. Cool. All right. So 10-foot aura. That. With the whole idea of ink, I almost want to be able to rewrite a section of someone's character sheet, but that's kind of dumb. Like, I want someone to have to sit there. I want someone to have to sit there and like roll randomly for like all of their 5th level spells on their sheet or something. Like, it's just like, you failed this save. Now you have to roll to find out what spells you get.
That's funny. I don't think that works though. At least in this, at least not currently. At least not as you.
Not for the flavoring of her.
That's fair.
Okay.
Thinking.
Wow, yeah, no, that really helps by making it so much easier for me to think with that constant nagging voice in my ear.
Have you tried thinking? Hashtag skill issue.
I have actually.
Hashtag your mom. What if she could magic missile at any level to get as many as like one of her baseline attacks, and every hit creates an inkling?
Okay. At any level.
That'd be 12 damage. 12. That'd be 12 at the highest level. Ooh, but then it's just kind of like instant. Oh, if you have shield, you can avoid all damage. Have shield up already.
Magic missile. Maybe 5th level magic missile.
Okay, that'd be 8. Yeah, that'd be 8. 8 blasts.
Okay. 5th level magic missile. Every hit creates an inkling.
7. It'd be 7 hits.
Okay.
But yeah.
I like that. And then I'm trying to keep all of my notes in the same place. All right. Let's look at some of her other actions. I think instead of a multi-attack, maybe she upcasts the magic missile or something. Like, or I don't know. Like, it could be a multi-attack. She does need damage currently. She needs a way to apply stacks effectively and multiply them. Oh, I think maybe we have 2 Lair actions. Maybe there is double stacks.
Yeah, I think double stacks. I was about to suggest
and double. Okay, so if on her Lair action she double stacks, and then maybe she can spend an action point or 2 to trigger them immediately.
I agree.
Okay, cool. So spend 1 to 2 action points. What value should we say 2 action points to immediately trigger the stacks?
2?
And if you have no stacks, you have to roll like XD12.
Yeah, I agree.
So, okay, yeah. Spend 2 action points to immediately trigger the stacks. And then, so double stack, because this is going to be dealing damage and also giving them inkling. Yeah, double stacks. If you have no stacks, roll 2d12 or 3d12. 2d12. It's an act. Yeah, 2D12. It's a Lair action. 2d12 and gain that many stacks, and then additionally the Seamstress can spend 2 action points to immediately trigger the stacks. I like that.
I like that.
Okay, cool.
I like that.
I really thought we'd be able to get through 2 monster designs today. I thought we were quicker than
and
this.
I thought you were, and I think you were crazy because I have edited. I've been attempting to edit the Undreamed video for weeks.
Okay, but I thought that it took us a while because we were sitting there drawing it at the same time. So I kept thinking if the drawings is taking like...
We were talking for most of it. You are a fucking chatterbox in case you don't know, in case you don't understand that. I'll show you the wave file. There is constant nattering the whole time.
That's so funny. Okay. Let's go ahead. What does the 10-foot aura do? Maybe...
I'm almost willing to make it just like forces you to roll your stacks at the beginning and the end of your turn.
I agree. What kind of save?
Charisma?
Deal. Charisma, save, forces for both, for beginning and end, like so 2 separate saves.
Yeah. No, the one at the end is standard. The one at the end happens no matter what, but definitely.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, because yeah, no, this is the one at the end. Right, I get what you're saying. At beginning. Okay. Okay. On a fail, you roll stacks at the beginning of your turn. Stacks always trigger at the end of your turn and double.
Oh, stacks double at the end of turn, or is that what the effect of the aura?
I think they should just double.
I am against that because we're checking it against a count.
Fine.
Good.
Did we want to take a break?
We should probably take a break because I need to pee.
Same.
All right, everybody. This has been the first half of Monster Mayhem. We will be back in like 15-ish minutes. I'm going to grab some tea. We're going to the bathroom, and we'll be probably finishing up this monster soon. So don't go anywhere. Or maybe go get your drinks yourself. See ya!
is not Offbeat Outlaw, and today we are building monsters.
Stop stealing my shit.
Get the fuck out of my house.
That's my ending. Fuck you. Hello, everybody. We're still building this monster, the Seamstress.
Yes. Shall we run over what we have so far?
You have the notes. You run over.
Have you not been taking notes?
I have some notes, but you have most of them,
Okay.
I think. I could go through them, but it'll take a while. Yours are probably more organized.
All right, cool. So, Seamstress is one of our boss monsters from the world that we are building together. Concept is embroidery tattoos that are like threaded into her skin and ink because her eyes have been sewed shut so that she can be closer to the dreaming. Her recharge weapon is what we are building this fight around because she is able to, when you deal damage to her, negate the damage and then create that many 2/1 Inkling creature tokens with flying.
Mm-hmm.
It is Ink Shield from Magic the Gathering. However, she can use these Inklings to give herself other effects. For example, if she has 50 Inklings, she can concentrate on 2 spells, 150 Inklings, 3 spells, with different tiers of abilities. Additionally, 100 Inklings, she gets 2 more action points than normal. Action points are a system that we have adopted from 3.5/Pathfinder / all that good stuff, and that allow her to sort of mix and match what she does on her turn as part of her action. To just give her cool stuff to do. Maybe she can spend Inklings to give herself additional action points.
She already has the thing where it's like, depending on the amount of Inklings she has additional action points.
You're right. Maybe we, instead of making that a tiered thing though, as a matter of balancing it, we make it that she spends those Inklings. Maybe because this is a resource. Because there's so many opportunities for her to produce Inklings. I feel like spending them might be a better way to do that. Anyway, she has a 10-foot aura that forces you to roll the stacks that she applies at the beginning and end of your turn, and on a fail, you roll them. So the stacks is Offbeat's usual stacks mechanic where you start, she has a way to apply stacks either on a hit or on you missing a hit or whatever the trigger is. I don't think we've fully decided that, or we've sort of got a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
And you start rolling dice and then you take damage and we get Inklings to spend at and do our fun stuff. She's got some fun spells. I'm so excited by the concept that her recharge weapon is a reaction. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna live rent free in my brain.
I like that.
I'm gonna start building so many things around this.
I don't think you.
That's so cool.
There are I think in one of the monster books there are abilities that are reactions. I think it's in the monster manual. I think there's one creature that has a recharge based reaction. I'm pretty sure. I don't
remember what it is. Someone in chat actually commented something that's very similar to another thing that we designed together that your audience has not seen. But do you remember when I designed the Zaratan, redesigned the Zaratan, and for our friend Aaron, and you did your
Elder Tempest,
Elder Tempest, and I got to the end of it and I was missing one ability and I couldn't figure out what to do with it because I made the Zaratan all about like rumbling and vibrations and the earth being loud and like and then after its mythic action all of the earth like fell away and these enormous crystals were exposed and the crystals could absorb spells and then fling back damage or fling spells back, reflecting that kind of thing. And we decided the mechanic that we came up with together was that it absorbed a number of charges from spells that failed to get. So like if you missed an attack with a spell or something, it absorbed a number of charges equal to, I believe it was half the spell's level. And it got that many action points. Someone in chat made a comment earlier about absorbing spells and flinging them back. I think we also recently did, for another fight we were working on with Thread World, flinging them, like grabbing threads and flinging, like pulling them back and almost like a bow and arrow, just like flinging the spells back. I almost kind of like the idea of something like that in here, but I don't know if it fits.
I don't think it fits. That feels too athletic. Feels like too that it feels too active.
You're right.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. What does chat have to say? Because we've basically got a pretty solid start. So the Lair action is so funny, I think.
Yes, you can just drag you around on top of spike growth.
A bunch of threads that come out and drag you and reposition you, and then if she's concentrating on spike growth, then you're taking additional damage. Amazing.
So here's my argument, just by the way, for the tiered spell, for the tiered action points, depending on the number of Inklings you have up. My thought process is it gives her the opportunity to get those multiple concentration spells up at once that is also based on the tiers.
I see.
Yeah.
Yep. No, fair enough. I get that. Yep. Because then it synergizes really well.
Yeah. And someone asked, are the Inklings themselves offensive? No, they don't really do anything. They're just creatures that exist. They don't have any. They're not really in the initiative count. They're like there. You can target them.
I like the idea that maybe they make things difficult terrain.
Yeah, you know what? They can cover the area and you can move through their space with the difficult terrain as if it was difficult terrain.
Yeah. Okay.
But Inklings themselves don't really have any other effects. Don't have actions. They're not gonna, because that would be ridiculous. But
yeah,
they're just there to be a physical resource in a way.
Yeah, they buff her.
Yeah.
And I love that we joked about making Ink Shield the thing.
And then
now we have a fight. Yeah, we have a fight based on Ink Shield. You've never used Ink Shield against me. Ever.
I've never had the opportunity. I don't think I have anyway. I need to play Silver Quill more. It's fun. Okay.
That's good.
I'm gonna grab the PHB and I'm gonna look for concentration spells.
Are you aware that you have D&D Beyond at your disposal? Oh, you've already got it. I thought you were gonna walk off to grab it. I was like, you have access to everything. So, wait, what are you looking for? Concentration spells. I see. Okay. Cool. Because then we can also kind of build some of the mechanics around layering concentration spells, or maybe we design some additional effects that are treated like concentration spells. And she can concentrate on those or a concentration spell.
Yeah, that would work.
Now I feel like she should be able to fly so that she doesn't take damage from her own needles.
Yeah, she has a fly and hover speed.
Okay, cool. Oh, is she flying or is she... No. I was going to say, is she tied up with threads? But I feel like that's more of a Puppet Master thing. And I don't really... Yeah, I don't really want to...
I don't want to complicate that.
Okay, so she has a fly speed. I'm going to move my notes on the tailor, which I think... Listen, if we ever end up in this situation again where everyone else is gone, we're doing the tailor. I'm really excited of this concept of thread and paper together. Okay, so the Seamstress has a fly speed of 50 feet? 60.
60.
And she also has a hover speed. Awesome. Let's give her some stats. Let's easy sort of break.
Weak strength. 16 strength, I would say.
16? Okay. Alright, so let's just... Hold on, give me a sec to write these down. So strength... I always... No, is it... Yeah, it's dex and then con. Dex, it doesn't really matter, but... it does to me.
Strength, dex, con, wisdom, intelligence, charisma.
Yeah. Con. Wiz. Int. Char. Okay, her dex, I think, actually ought to be kind of good.
Yeah.
Or not.
All those
I
sleight
mean-
of hand. Just got all them sleight of hand checks. I wouldn't be surprised if she's
You know
doing
what?
extras.
Yeah. 24?
24.
Cool. Constitution, good.
Solid, but not crazy. 22.
24?
20. Yeah, 24
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
24 makes sense, yeah.
Okay.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. What kind of caster is she?
Charisma, I'd imagine.
Yeah. You're right. 30 charisma.
Yeah.
Int might be a bit lower and then wisdom a little bit higher.
You can make
Maybe-
int like the 22 and then make charisma like a 26, wisdom like a 26.
Okay. Wisdom a 26. Okay. All right. I can get behind that. So, strength 16, dex 24, con 24, wisdom 26, int 22, charisma 30. Should we drop our int a little again? It's not like there's no, because feeble mind.
Yep. We don't want our loot getting feeble-minded.
Do we? All right. So with her saving throw proficiencies, we want to give her 3. Saving throw.
You make her proficient in int, wiz,
Yeah.
and
Int, which would give her with the 22, that's 6 plus 8, because CR30 monsters have an 8 proficiency bonus. So that's going to bring her to a plus 14 on her int saves, and then wisdom, you think?
yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be 8 plus, so 26 is 6, 7, 8, so that's 16. So she's going to have a plus 16 to her wisdom saving throws. And then, do we want to give her a third?
Dex or con?
I think that control spells in this fight are going to be largely used to... Okay. I think that control spells should be largely used to manage the Inklings. So I think that we should incentivize things like Hypnotic Pattern by maybe saying that if they're stunned, she can't do things like incapacitated or stunned or something. She can't use them in certain ways. For example, when she uses them, so when she goes to take damage and she expends them instead of taking damage, maybe it's because they're jumping in her way, so she can't do that if they're incapacitated or stunned.
Incapacitated, stunned, or their movement speed is otherwise 0.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that.
All right, cool.
That can also means you can restrain them.
Yeah, I think it gives players good incentive to, like, it gives control casters to something to do.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Sweet. So in that case, did you want to give her proficiency with strength? I'm going to give her strength. Just to give her a bit of a fighting chance. I don't want people targeting her strength. Save. She's CR 30 with a 16 strength. Yeah, so 16 would give her a plus 3 plus 8 is 11. So she'd have a plus 11 to her strength save. And we can flavor it as like the threads supporting, right? Like she calls on threads to like pull the way that she's trying to pull or something.
Yeah.
And like back her up a little bit. Okay, cool. Now we probably want to give her some damage, resistances, and immunities.
Classic
Resistances.
resistances, non-magical bludgeoning, slashing. That shebang.
Okay.
Make her resistant to fire damage.
Okay. Oh, how? Fire immune? So it doesn't burn the threads?
It's almost like the threads are dipped in ink. They're fireproof.
No, let's go resistance. Let's go resistance.
I think resistant only. I don't typically like immunities.
Yeah.
Just
I agree, because it kind of negates really. No, I agree. Non-magical, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. She is immune to. Immune or resistant? Wait. Resistant. And then fire damage.
resistant.
Poison.
Resistant.
Do we even worry about poison? Maybe she's not resistant to poison. Why does everything have poison resistance?
You're right.
What good? Unless it's the ink thing.
Ink is already poisonous.
Yeah, so
That's
maybe
like that.
she's resistant to it because of the
She's
ink.
resistant to it 'cause she's just like imbibed in that shit.
I don't like the idea that everything has poison resistance. It kind of defeats. That's kind of what poison is, though, right? Like, poison is supposed to make you sick. Why is everything resistant to it? It's bullshit.
What is
It's
this
kind
secret beef against poison? What the fuck?
I know. As a damage type, I'm kind of mad that it sucks because it's theoretically cool. Because, alright, I would like to, if I could offer a little bit of a rant. I feel like if you took poison as a concept and started applying it to apply additional effects and debuffs, you could build so many cool conditions and mechanics around applying those conditions and those poisons to people. But the game kind of disincentivizes it because everything has resistance. Like, design-wise, it's almost like by giving everything resistance, they cut off opportunities for cool mechanics. So now you have to re-flavor it as something else.
Mm-hmm.
But poison as a mechanical idea is really cool.
I agree. But poison...
Especially because poisoned is already a condition, but you could create additional like subcategories of that if you like broke down the kind of poison.
Also, high key, most poison just kills you. In real life, most poison is just you die.
Yeah, but like...
So like the fact that it does nothing in D&D feels a little insulting.
That's true. But it could be something that like reduces your movement. Or, I don't know. Like all kinds of debuffs that
Yeah, I agree.
reduces all of your stats by 1.
I'm still looking at spells.
That's fair. This is like enfeeblement. What does Ray of Enfeeblement do again?
Makes all attack rolls that use strength have disadvantage.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, it's not great.
We could do something like makes all attack rolls have disadvantage. Mind you, if it's CR 30, honestly, that's just a lot of rolling and it becomes annoying. Interesting. Regular. Maybe if we just actually, this is a good point. Okay, so someone in chat is saying regular poison, then magic poison. If we distinguish between like resistance to non-magical poison.
What applies non-magical poison, like magical poison?
I don't know, but I just really want poison to be a thing. I'm Gretchen Wiener and poison is fetch.
The Mercy Monk is one of the only good monk classes because they use poison as one of the things that they can do.
Is it good? Because poison is resisted by everything. Does it matter?
What state do you live in? You sound like a New Yorker. Oh, you sweet naive child. I'm a fucking Canadian. You come into my house and you say I'm a New Yorker? Fuck that.
Why do you do this to me?
What?
Did it sound like that?
Do you prefer if I sounded Australian?
That doesn't even sound Australian.
Also,
even my accent isn't the normal
Taco,
one.
what part of Britain is Brooke from?
No, that's so funny. Okay, because I'm fully aware that like my version of the Australian accent is not the most common one. Because I've got like the like Melbourne/Victorian kind of accent, so it sounds a little bit more pretentious. But Australia does have multiple accents, to be fair. People just don't think we do until they hear like mine versus the Bogan one. But I sound the way that like all our news broadcasters sound.
All our
anyway.
Broadcasters. A problem with a lot of concentration spells giving them to monsters is that a lot of them suck to be affected by as a player, like, which
is why I think we give it some concentration abilities.
Yeah. Should we still treat them as spells so they can be counterspelled?
Ooh. No, because I think that getting rid of concentration. Okay. Ooh. I want to say no. However, if we do that, then maybe she still has to make a concentration save even if she negates the damage using her Inklings. However, she gets to choose which thing she loses concentration on. So if she negates 100 points of damage, she's automatically failing that concentration check. However, she gets to choose which effect ends. I don't want it to be counterspellable, but I think that if it's not counterspellable, it should be a more viable option to get rid of, like to use damage to get rid of. And I think that Dispel Magic should work.
Dispel Magic works, counterspell doesn't. Okay.
Because Dispel Magic also allows you
Magical
to choose
effects.
the effect.
Yeah.
But I think that you should only be allowed to end one effect. I don't think you should be able to end all of the things she's concentrating on at once.
We should then stipulate that in the abilities then. Aaron was telling me about 3.5. Apparently, I don't know if you knew this about 3.5, but apparently you could there's concentration wasn't a thing. You could just keep casting spells. Yeah. So the only thing you could do was Dispel Magic. That's why Aaron was so adamant about that.
Can we play 3.5?
We could play it at some point, but I don't want to do it now. Like,
no, not right now.
Well, not right now, but I mean, in a while. It sounds rough. Gaming for that game.
I want to try 3.5 so bad. I also want to try Pathfinder.
I want to try it, but it sounds fucking absurd.
And Patrick wants us to try 7th Sea, which I really want to get into. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, 3.5 is so much more balanced than 5th edition. I'm like, really? Really? 40th level characters. Infinite concentration spells. That does not sound balanced.
That's the thing is, they took a really different approach maths-wise with this. The flattened math, the 5th edition. Oh, I'm sure we've all heard it. Oh, you'd mentioned maybe a dex increase after she's unthreaded. We did, didn't we?
Mythic action dex increases to 28.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Oh, here's Ray of Enfeeblement. I was mistaken. Make a ranged spell attack against a target. On a hit, target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends. Concentration 1 minute.
It still only really targets strength.
Yeah, it's still only targeting strength.
Well, okay, if her dex increases to 28 after the Mythic, should we reduce it from a 24 prior to the Mythic and maybe make it...
I don't think so. I think it being a 24.
No? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Cool. So her spell casting, what's her DC? If her charisma score is 30, then that is a plus 10 plus 8. So 28 would be her DC.
26.
Wait, 26?
Because it's 8 plus 10.
Oh, 8. Sorry. Yep. I was thinking of
Yeah,
10
base,
plus.
Base 8. And she has
Yep.
a proficiency score of 8. So that's how that would work.
So we can base it off that. We can set the DC at 26, or we can just set our own DC. What do you think? CR 30. I think 26 is a good spell save DC.
I think 26 is fine.
Yeah.
Because it's 8 plus her proficiency, which is 8 plus 10. That's 26.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's go for. Okay. Hit points 300, and then spell save DC is 26. Okay, and the reason why we were going with 300 hit points is because she can negate damage with her Inklings and stuff like that. So yeah, she's gonna be fine. Cool. I like that. Now, let's take a look. What do we don't? I think we need more actions. I think one of the things that we've skipped is actions and legendary actions.
Yeah, we don't have that.
And then mythic actions.
Okay. Action.
Do we give her a multi-attack?
I think we just give her like a spell attack. Like she makes a range, like three range spell attacks.
So I'm gonna give it action points. She's gonna have 5 action points. And then I'm gonna have to assign an action point value to each of these tiers. So we're gonna go 3 points, 2 points, and 1 point. And then if we come up with anything crazy, we can make it like 4 points.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll stick with this.
Yeah. Action, summons and launches 3 needles. Make a ranged spell attack. 120-foot range. Deals 4d8 on hit.
How many points is this?
2. It's an action.
Okay, so cool. 2 points. 3 needles, ranged spell attack. How far? What was the range on it?
120 feet.
120 feet. And how much damage, sorry?
4d8.
Per needle?
Yes.
What kind of damage? Poison?
No. It's piercing. It's fucking needle.
I know, but it's laced with ink. Maybe they're like pens. That's an Alistair thing.
2d8 piercing.
I'm just gonna keep it the one kind. I'll make it piercing.
Oh my god.
Piercing damage per needle. Alright, cool.
On hit, apply 1 stack of thread.
Oh, right, for every hit, right?
Yeah.
Not just, okay. 1 stack or roll a d12. I kind of want it to be easy to build up the number of stacks. Roll like a d4.
I think considering that every time they roll their stacks, they're going to create that many Inklings, you're putting them into a fucking fail state.
But it'll be funny.
Oh, yeah?
No. No.
Hysterical, I bet.
Okay, for every hit, they get a stack of thread to roll to add to their thread count, and get a good night's sleep.
They can get a good little
in
nap.
death. Take a trip to the aquarium.
And their 100 thread count pillow. Made
Realign their chakra.
The
The number of like random
number of
analogies
ways we have to
instead
say kill somebody.
Yeah.
Objectify. Realize chakra. A trip to the aquarium. So 3 more than we need.
Increase their thread count.
Increase the
Go
thread.
to bed.
Go to sleep.
I feel like there was another one the other day, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, probably.
We just add them. Okay. I like that. All right, nice, easy. Can't think of anything else to do. I think I also want to add that to the legendary action section because it's easy.
Yeah, except make it less. Make it one hit.
Okay, but then I'm gonna make it one action.
Yeah.
One action. And then one needle. Ranged spell attack. For every hit, they get a stack of thread. All right, cool. And then
Should we give her an AoE effect as well?
Oh yeah, that could be fun.
Should it be like a point in like fireball, or should it be like a radius from her?
Radius from her implies something like a recharge weapon, but it doesn't have to have the impact of that.
Yeah.
It depends what it does. I think we come up with the mechanic and then we decide balancing on that kind of thing.
Fail to save, restrained, take damage, up thread stacks.
I'm really concerned because I just saw in chat someone's like, I can already see the next luck fight, and I just am worried that that's true, is the thing. Offbeat, why is it that whenever we design monsters together, I'm the one that has to deal with it? I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna throw any of this against my party until we run Thread World. You're just like, luck fight? Bet?
Yeah, here's a cannon way for me to send whatever the fuck I want in the party.
So this is playtest material.
Playtest.
Bullshit. What if... Okay, so this won't apply to this fight. I think this is going to apply to if we defeat her this way, because the idea behind Thread World is that death is only semi-permanent. It's not like a permanent fixture. What if we kill her like this and then she comes back? What if she's able to rip off patches and turn them into like rip off embroidery or something and turn them into creatures, like new summonings, like her Inklings get cooler?
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Optional boss fight.
Yeah. If she ever like ascends or gets tougher or something.
I think she should. I think the action AoE should be like a point and click, kind of like Fireball, where she gets like a 20-foot radius thing in the area.
Okay.
And I think that makes sense.
And it creates that many Inklings. For how much damage it does. Fireball's worth of damage, and it creates that many Inklings.
I was gonna say damage.
3 points.
I was gonna say 8d6 damage, and then on fail, you also get 8d6 stacks of thread. Because that's probably,
yeah, I like that. That's good. Write that down.
Let's write down point and click. 20-foot radius. 8d6 damage. On success. On fail. Damage plus 8d6 stacks of thread.
Okay. So many notes to take. Is this a 3-point or a 2-point action? A 3-point. That's a 3-point action.
That's a 3-point action, yeah.
Yeah, she has 5 action points. She can do a whole bunch of stuff. So, is it 120-foot range for Fireball, or is it 60? Okay, yeah.
120.
And it was 8 stacks of thread.
Yeah, 8d6 stacks.
8d6?
Oh, no, wait. 8 stacks of thread. You're right.
Yeah, 8d6 damage.
And 8 stacks of thread.
Acid damage? Maybe we lean into acid with the ink thing.
Acid can be absorbed elements, but sure.
Poison.
I think poison can't. Let me think.
We do need to get her doing more damage. Because I think at the moment what we're doing is finding a bunch of ways for her to create all of these inklings, which is just going to extend the fight. Yeah, it's going to extend the fight and make it take longer to kill her without increasing the threat from like damage that she's dealing. So she needs to be applying that pressure.
That's why I'm like, I want to make it necrotic, even though it's overused. I want to
necrotic.
Make it necrotic. Yeah.
Let's do it. Easy peasy. All right, cool. So you've got necrotic damage.
Actually, poison is not on the absorb elements list. You could make it poison. However, keep in mind there are several creatures, races, and paladins who are immune to poison.
Okay, yeah. Let's just leave it as 8d6 necrotic damage for now. It's boring flavor. It's boring, but it works. It needs works. We need to be reliably just applying damage. Also, okay, hold on. Brooke's saying she's liking this now, forgetting she broke a pinky promise with Luck. I would like to point out that if you go back and watch that scene, I never made a pinky promise with Luck. That was both of us misremembering in the moment. I made a pinky promise with Charlie. In the scene where I talk to Luck about that thing, there is no pinky promise. Viari did not break a pinky promise. Viari was dumb, but Viari did not break a pinky promise.
She didn't break a pinky promise. However, she still did basically tell her dad, hey, your colleague's running an underground fight ring in your basement.
I just went, isn't Luck collecting pages? Oh my god, that's so crazy. What a crazy bit of information.
Hey,
and then
isn't Luck cooking the books? Why would she be cooking the books? That's a weird thing to do. Why would she be cooking the books?
No, you know what? No. This was okay. I just said it out loud. And to be fair, I don't have someone constantly reading my mind, at least to the best of my knowledge. So how would I expect to remember that Alistair would... You know what? No, I get it. It was a dumb thing to do. I get it that it was a dumb thing to do, but I did not break a pinky promise.
There we go. Killing it, homie. All the same. Alright. I think we actually have damage now because we have... She can deal 8d6, which is 28. She can deal 12d8, which is 6 times 9, 54.
12d8? Wait, where's that? Oh, from the 3 points, 2 points. Okay, because
that's 82 damage. She can deal that in one turn.
That.
And then with her, and then she has that legendary action. She can throw a needle. She can throw another needle. She can throw another one.
I think it's also damage. 2 points to cast a spell.
2 points to cast a spell, yep. 3 legendary actions.
Yeah, so her legendary actions for 1 point, she can send a needle, apply a stack of thread. Did we want to give her any additional actions? 2 actions to cast a spell?
Give her Dispel Magic and Counterspell as well.
Oh, of course. Dispel Magic, Counterspell. That's implied. Even if we forget to put it on a sheet,
it's there. It's there. If it's not
there, it's there. We forgot it, but it's there. Yeah. Because also you can banish. What if instead of... So we were talking... No. Never mind. I was going to say with the banishment thing, what if there's a debuff based on the Inklings or based on something? But then I was like, no, I'm just going to leave it for spell save DC. Just you make this save and her banishment uniquely sends you into the dreaming, which is... Do we want to come up with an effect of what happens when you're in the dreaming? I almost kind of want that to be a little bit of like a... Just like a cute little... Oh, you're stuck here.
Maybe post-mythic action.
Okay.
As for concentration spells, she has Wall of Force, Spike Growth, Sickening Radiance, Synaptic Static, Spirit Shot at 7th level, Banishment, and then 5th level Magic Missile, Dispel Magic, and Counterspell. All of her damaging spells have the effect of on hit apply one stack of thread.
If we weren't already running out of time, I would want to come up with other concentration abilities instead of spells. Or do we want to brainstorm a couple?
Do you want to know how we're going to make the people get rid of stacks of thread?
How?
You may remove a stack of thread per foot that you teleport.
Favoring spellcasters as per the usual.
Yes.
Okay. I like that though. I like that. It incentivizes some cool movement stuff. Oh, but it also, I say favoring spellcasters, that also means that you're probably going to be using your bonus action for Misty Step or something like that, and then that stops you from casting a leveled spell on your turn. So
also your party might have vortex warp, so they can teleport you.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, someone just being on vortex warp.
Dimension door, you can take friends. So
scatter.
There are ways. Scatter is another one. Like, there are ways to teleport even the non-teleporters.
I like this a lot. Okay, so where's my stacks notes? Stacks of thread.
And also there might be times when you're like, fuck, I've got to move out of range just to get rid of the stacks.
Head per, foot teleported?
Per foot, yes.
Okay, not 5 feet. Awesome. All right. I like that. Did we want to quickly come up with some additional things that she can concentrate on?
Give herself resistance to a damage type of her choice.
Yep.
Okay.
So where should I put this? Additional concentration abilities.
Make a Constitution saving throw. On fail, you now double your thread stacks after they've been applied. After you roll them.
Is this as an action or legendary action?
Action.
Okay.
But
2 points?
2 points, yeah. So she casts it on you, and then now your stacks will be doubling every time you apply them, similar to bleed.
Okay, so con save, stacks double every time you roll them.
Yes.
On cast and every time you roll them.
Sure.
Because then if they get rid of if she spends 2 points, how many people can she affect? Is this an AoE?
She can affect one person initially, but she can sack minions, but she can sack Inklings to target more.
Okay. How does that work? So when you say she can target one person initially, but she can sack Inklings to target more,
on casting,
do you
she
mean
can sack the Inklings to target?
So so it's additional targets. Okay, cool. So it's not like she can do that later on in the fight. When she wants to start targeting more people. So if that's what we're going with, if we're creating like a million ways for her to create Inklings, this feeds itself. This is a little engine that feeds itself. If she runs out of Inklings, oh no, she does have ways to generate Inklings out of nothing.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of these abilities doing that. Okay, cool. All right. Because the other thing is to bear in mind, do you remember how recently in Paperwork Pantheon we had a flashback sequence to a revolution/war, like the Skeleton's War or whatever, and this was the first time that I'd cast Sickening Radiance like in game, but we worked out how many skeletons it was going to kill, and it was like 100 and something. Because I'm thinking of the Inklings like that, they might actually be pretty easy to get rid of if you just kill them. Because if they only have 1 hit point, which is kind of how I'm thinking of them, and you cast Sickening Radiance, you're actually going to be wiping out a massive heap of them, which drastically nerfs her.
But if you're concentrating on something like Sickening Radiance, or if you use something like Fireball, like that's kind of the point. You are supposed to be targeting them, but she can make a lot.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I think that's kind of the point of the fight. Like if
somewhat like your control caster is trying to take out the Inklings.
Yeah, your control caster is managing that aspect of the fight. They are managing the Inkling number so that the rest of your damage casters and your damage dealers can focus on her.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
And also keep in mind, if the people get enough stacks of thread, they are making Inklings, and then they're gonna get banished. If their thread count gets over 100, if it gets over 5 times their charisma modifier, they're banished.
I thought we threw out that mechanic.
Oh, I thought we still had that.
Oh no, I don't mind it. I think we need to playtest it to see if that's going to mess us up, because I think
a better way to playtest than in a luck fight, though, right?
I hate this. You know who has the notes on this fight?
You do.
Not you.
I'll remember it.
This is bullshit.
I'll fill in the gaps. I'll just make it up as I go.
No.
Oh, this seems right. Take 297 damage, Fiari.
98, actually. It's 298 that you almost one-shot me with. Thank you very much.
Apologies.
Yeah, if you're gonna, please get it right. If you're going to.
So sorry.
Map me with that.
So sorry, Brooke.
Thank you. Call me Fiari. Okay. So, concentrating. Okay, so in terms of additional abilities that she can concentrate on, resistance to a damage type of her choice, I support it. Maybe something that limits the player's movement, because we're already incentivizing teleportation, so something that sort of restrains them could be cool.
She has that, her AoE already restrains them.
Wait, which AoE is this?
The point and click that 8d6 damage on success, on fail, receive 8 stacks, receive the damage, 8 stacks of thread, and you are restrained.
Oh.
Yeah, because she I was thinking she throws a needle and explodes in thread.
Oh, I think I missed that when you were explaining it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and you are restrained. Yeah, I don't feel bad about throwing a bunch of restraint stuff into a fight where teleportation is incentivized, and because you can then have something like fast step on your character, and as a bonus action teleport 60 feet, and you just constantly, you're fine.
Yeah.
And then you're able to use your action to cast like fireballs and stuff and keep the Inklings.
Also, spells like Moonbeam and whatnot can become quite useful as well.
Moonbeam deals damage and does something to shapeshifters, right?
Yeah, but it's a concentration spell where you get this area of damage that you can move around.
Oh, I forgot that you could move it. Yeah, okay.
So you can
yeah, that checks out. Oh, and the dragon spell, the 8th level illusory dragon spell.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to cast that. I put that on my sheet just so that I could summon a dragon, and then you gave me 2 uses of you gave me true polymorph that I got every day, so I effectively got a second 9th level spell, but then because of the simulacrums, they also get it. So now I just have an army of dragons.
You're welcome.
I'm psyched.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy about this true polymorph thing. But anyway, I think we've got most of this. Maybe
all that we're really missing is what happens at. We're missing her mythic and her mythic action and her mythic actions. Mythic action, threads explode out. She's restored to 200 hit points. Gets 100 Inklings. Recharge weapons recharge.
Okay, I am hesitant to give her maybe 300 hit points again, purely because you can one attack do 200 points of damage.
But she gets her recharge back.
That's true, actually. Yeah. No, good point. 100 Inklings. Recharge. Weapon.
Legendary resistances restored.
Charges. Nice. How many legendary resistances? 5?
5. Gains an aura.
Okay, so this is where the aura is coming in. We're not letting her have it all the time.
No, she has another one now.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Gains new aura. Is she keeping the old one, or is this one replacing it?
She keeps the old one.
New aura in addition to the current one.
What if within 10 feet of her, when stacks of thread are rolled, receive the amount in damage?
Oh, I thought we were already doing that.
No, when stacks of thread are rolled, you don't take damage. You just up your thread count until you get banished.
Fine.
This is for your sake here, homie.
So it's another 10-foot aura?
Another 10 foot, yeah.
10
Actually, make
foot
this one 15. Make this one
aura. There's no need for a 15-foot aura because no one's ever going to stand at 15 feet away. 15-foot aura?
Would you like to hear my reasoning, or would you like
When
to just
stacked,
imitate me?
I would like to make fun of you, but also hear your reasoning, please.
Well, my reasoning is this then creates the opportunity for players to stand in one aura without standing in the other. So that I can stand in the 15-footer and take this damage, or I can stand in the 10-foot, get double the damage, but I do get my Spirit Shroud.
I see. Okay, so the... Oh, fuck, that sucks. That sucks so bad. Hold on. No, because, alright, if you're within... Alright, that heavily punishes Spirit Shroud in that case. Yes. Because if you... Now, bear in mind with a party like ours, that's going to potentially send us into a fail state. So you've got a 10-foot aura that requires a charisma save. It forces you to roll the stacks at the beginning and end of your turn if you fail. Now, you're always rolling the stacks at the end of your turn. Because you are always rolling the stacks at the end of your turn, being within 15 feet means that you are always taking that damage. Being within 10 feet, it's not just that you double the damage. If she's got her concentration ability up that makes you double stacks, these all add on top of each other. This is a lot.
Yeah.
You know how whenever we design monsters, what usually ends up happening is one of us goes a little too far and then the other one has to reel us back in?
Okay, but think about it like this. Here's what I'm thinking. What if you counterplayed 2 casters with Vortex Warp? Ready action Vortex Warp. Person casts Spirit Shroud, ups it to 7th level. The Vortex Warp triggers. They send them to within range. They get to do their action, deal all the damage. And then the second Vortex Warp triggers, and they teleport them back.
In what universe would that ever actually happen?
Fucking, that's the play! That's the play!
The thing is, we do a lot of up-close melee stuff. I think
keep in mind, this is already how bleed worked naturally.
Bleed didn't have the roll at the beginning of your turn and then at the end and then the...
Well, keep in mind, if you're entering into the range, and rolling at the beginning of your turn is only going to apply next turn because the beginning of your turn's already happened. unless she uses her Lair action to drag you all up close anyway. But then you still have your movement, so you can move out of the range.
Yeah, but if at the beginning of your turn you have to make the save and then take the damage, then you're taking that. So you've just taken damage from being dragged across needles into her aura, and then you take the damage as you, like, if you fail the charisma save, then you take that damage, and then at the end of your turn you take damage. This is a lot.
What about you take half the damage?
Why do I feel like I'm talking to Z's?
Shut up. But like, what if you took half the damage?
Half the damage.
And okay, but just also an idea. What if instead of like you get insta banished at 100, what if once you reach the thread count of 100, your native plane of existence changes to the dreaming?
Hey!
I thought you'd like that idea because you do it all the time.
But I like it when I use it against you guys, not when you use it against me. It was funny when I did it.
Sure,
Change your native plane of existence and then banish someone.
It's hilarious.
It is so funny, but it's bullshit.
But what if we did it?
I think that's the same as the plane shift thing. You could just make it plane shift at that point.
Well, no, because then it requires her to actually use her action to banish you.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because at 100, your native plane of existence has been changed, but then she still has to use her action to actually banish you to the dreaming.
Okay. Changed for a set amount of time, like until the end of your next long rest, or
yes, until next.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna send us? There is no place. There's no dreaming in your setting.
Tahiti.
Tahiti. Amazing.
Get banished to Detroit.
Yeah, it's just Danny's realm.
My brother in Christ, you are in Detroit.
What's a Christ?
Apparently
a lizard. Okay. So stacks. Where am I putting these notes? Okay, if your thread count reaches 100, your native plane.
Or 5 times your charisma modifier. Sorry, not 100. 5 times your charisma modifier.
Oh, okay. So is this in a? This is replacing the old thing.
Yes.
I see. Reaches 100. No, not 100. It reaches 5 times your charisma modifier. Your native plane of existence changes
to the dreaming / Detroit.
Okay, the dreaming works as a concept in Thread World. It
Yes.
doesn't in PP game.
Yeah, it's Detroit. In PP game, it's Detroit.
I'm Australian. I don't know what Detroit means.
Detroit
I
is
know it's a place in America. I know it's a city, but I don't
There's a lot
have
of
the
memes about
association.
There's a lot of memes about Detroit. It's like you can't have shit in
Okay.
Detroit because everything gets taken. It's just like this place is kind of like a different. It's kind of rough out there.
Okay.
Florida. Florida is another place. Like this place.
Caelid.
Caelid. Yeah, like Florida is Caelid. Let's say Florida. You understand Florida.
Mm-hmm. You get eaten by the dogs and get smushed by the birds.
Das Kinderschön.
What?
That's from the Maxor video. That's what he called the dogs Das Kindershedder.
Oh,
The favorite German bedtime story.
I feel like you showed me that video and I forgot it.
Probably. It goes very
Is that the
fast.
one that talks really quickly
Yeah.
and that has a lot of cut? Yeah, you showed me those.
It's the one that goes at like literally hyper speed.
Yeah, yep. Okay, so let's stacks count equals 5 times charisma.
Remove stacks by teleporting.
And if you plane shift back, then I think you should get rid of your stacks, your thread count resets.
Once I would say once your thread count reaches 5 times your threshold, I'd say your stacks are reduced to 0.
Yeah, thread count and stacks reduced to 0.
No, the thread count will trigger once you are banished, because your thread count needs to be above your 5 times your charisma modifier for that effect to be applied.
Yeah, so if once that triggers, do they then wipe? So because you've been banned, you've been kicked out.
No, I'm saying once your thread count reaches 5 times your charisma modifier, your stacks of thread are removed. But once you are banished, your thread count is removed.
I feel like my brain is glitching.
Okay, so
Okay, hold on. Sorry, can you just say that again, please?
So, once your thread count reaches 5 times your charisma modifier, your stacks of thread are removed. Once you are banished to the dreaming, your thread count
those
is
two
removed.
things not exactly the same?
No,
because
they are different.
once it hits that, oh no, because once you have to be banished as an action, right? Okay, sorry. Yeah,
Yes.
That's what I was confused about. Okay, is this the only way to remove those?
Thread count?
Yeah. Is it an auto fail on the banishment or no?
Yeah, that's kind
It's
of
an
the
auto
point.
fail on the banishment,
that's
but
kind of
it just. Okay, so she has to spend an action, but it is an auto fail.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of making it the native plane, right?
Okay. Yeah, but you still, with banishment, even if it's your native, this isn't your native plane, you still get a save.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You just get permabanned into, not permabanned, but like you don't come back after a minute. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Okay. So, when your thread count exceeds 5 times your charisma modifier, your stacks are removed. When you are banished, your thread count is removed. Action to banish. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not the banishment spell. Maybe it's just an action to banish. Do we want to save?
I don't want to save.
No save. Auto fail. And is this 2 or 3 action points?
3.
3. Okay. Alright, I like it. Action. Where are we? I have so many notes and they're just like all a mess. The thread.
All right.
Times.
All we're missing now is the mythic actions. But we are at time.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to keep going if you want to keep going,
Mm-hmm.
or we can wrap up.
I think I gotta hang out with my family, bro.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, my family's in town. I need to say hello to them. So
you should probably do that. They probably care about you a little bit.
Yeah, probably. So thank you all so much for watching. This has been Monster Mayhem, where Brooke and I create a CR30 monster of your worst nightmares. Stay tuned for the rest of this fucking show. Come back next week for Back to Paperwork Pantheon, Fridays 8 p.m. Eastern, every single week usually. Hopefully my players will be here. Let's fingers crossed, fingers crossed, because I have prep.
And if you want to see us build another monster together, we are doing a charity stream for Rolling for Charity in November, I believe November 19th. Mm-hmm. Do you know what time our segment is?
Nope.
Okay, that's the real Monster Mayhem thing that this half-finished overlay is actually for, that will be finished by the time that we have the actual... Anyway... I'm stressed about the fact that it's half finished and it's ugly.
I see. But if you enjoyed watching us make a CR30 monster, seeing what goes through our heads when we're making fights that can actually challenge level 20 parties, stick around. Show up for November 19th and you'll be able to maybe see more of it. And keep your eye out this channel. There may be a very similar style video coming out on this channel very soon once that's done being edited.
And that charity stream is Rolling for Charity. You can go subscribe to the Twitch channel. And it is to support Doctors Without Borders, I believe.
Yes.
This year, yeah.
But that is all from me. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Offbeat Outlaw. I have been half of this duo today. You know who I am. Brooke.
My name is Brooklyn Tuesday. I don't know, you might know who I am. I doubt it, but...
They watch my channel, they see you.
I know! If they're here on your Friday stream, they probably do. Thanks! Get the fuck out of Offbeat's house!
Yeah, well, get out of my house.